Man, Adam Cole. Fucking Adam Cole, man. Adam Cole has this bizarre notion that Ricochet is a one-trick pony. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck Ricochet is a one-trick pony, man. He might have got Ricochet mixed up with Roman Reigns. That's the only logical explanation behind that. You know, one is one of the best wrestlers on the fucking planet right now, and the other one wears a fucking riot vest to the ring. I don't know how the fuck you get those two mixed up. Either way, we got Adam Cole, baby, and Ricochet tonight in a rematch from NXT Takeover Brooklyn SummerSlam weekend. This was not for the North American Championship, by the way, clowns, if you have not noticed. Johnny Champion is still our North American champion. He might not be after next week when he steps into the ring with the Velveteen Dream. But we had Adam Cole and Ricochet tonight in a great main event. We're going to go over that. Obviously, that has implications written all over it after what happened to close that match out. We had a nice little interaction between Bianca Belair and Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. I don't know where they're going with all three of those women and their situation and their desire to become the NXT Women's Champion. And we got a nice little glimpse at how deep the NXT Tag Team division is for the tag team titles. We had every team pretty much out there staking claim for the tag team championships. And we're going to go over all of that tonight as well. This is your NXT review, February 13th, 2019. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. Follow me on social media, man. JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. Now, I found out today, because I'm on Instagram today, and I'm wondering, why can't I put a fucking link in my Instagram stories? Now, my Instagram account is a business account. And I found out today that I need 10,000 followers on Instagram to post links in my Instagram story so that I could guide you guys to whatever I upload. Now, I would like to do that because I think more people view the stories than I think they do the actual Instagram post that I put up, or anybody for that matter. So if you guys have an Instagram, or if you don't have an Instagram, go and sign up for one. I mean, everybody has a fucking smartphone. I don't know why the fuck you don't have Instagram. If you guys got Instagram, follow me on Instagram, JD from NY206. If you guys don't, if you don't have an Instagram, if you don't have a Twitter, create one. It's fun. You get to follow me. You get notified of when I upload. You can tweet me, and you can Instagram me. So make sure you guys do that, man. JD from NY206. Follow me on Twitch. I'll probably be on Twitch after this is over, playing some Apex Legends, man. Some pretty cool shit going on with Apex Legends. JD from New York. And hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And Patreon, if you guys want to support through the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. And for everybody that's on the Patreon page, man, you guys get the audio versions of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT as a nice little bonus. Those do not go up in audio format anywhere at all, even though I've been asked many, many, many times to put them on Podbean and iTunes. I refuse to do that, so you guys get a little bit of extra over there on the Patreon page. If you guys want to listen to it on the go in the morning or listen to it whenever you want, you could download it right from your phone, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Go check out the rest of the content on the channel, man. SmackDown Live. Randy Orton had a very easy night on SmackDown Live as he won a 6-man gauntlet match to claim the number 6 position in the Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes and AEW, their schedule has been revealed for the rest of the year with a TV deal looming for October. It is being rumored right now. Both Resident Evil videos, Parts 3 and 4. Part 5 coming tomorrow. Mr. X and JD square off. You don't want to miss this one. And then the truth about the disappearance of Grimm's Toy Show, man. I am telling the truth. There's no reason for me to be feuding with Grimm, man. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And then the Monday Night Raw review, man. Vince suspends Becky Lynch for 60 days. All of that is on the channel right now. Go and check it out for yourselves, man. Finally, the new shirt, Off the Script, is on bonfire.com. We are at 77 shirts sold. This is important because I would love to get to 100 shirts sold for the month of February, man. That would be absolutely killer. So if you guys have not purchased your JD's Elite shirt exclusively on bonfire.com, the link is in the description down below at the very top. Make sure you guys go and get one for yourself. Available, like I said, for the entire month of February, and it is exclusive to bonfire.com, man. Thank you guys so very much for all of your support. I got some random NXT news, man. News here. Can't really speak right now. My sinuses, man. My sinuses really fucking killing me. I don't know why. I get sinus headaches. I get stuffed very often. I don't know what the fucking deal is. But I do have NXT news before we get into tonight's results for the show at Full Sail. I want to start off with this, man. This is pretty sad, and it's quite depressing if you are Ty Dillinger. Now, I love Ty Dillinger. I think Ty Dillinger has a ton of untapped potential. WWE just has too many people on the main roster to give TV time for. That's one way of thinking about it. Me, if it's my opinion, I don't think WWE does a fair job of splitting the time between everybody on the main roster. There's no reason why a guy like Ty Dillinger can't find TV time. There's no reason why a guy like Tyler Breeze or Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, Killian fucking Dane, Eric Young, Sanity in general, there's no reason why these people cannot find TV time or WWE can't find time to put them on TV. You know, Almas was going through the same thing before he expressed his unhappiness, and WWE is frantically trying to make everybody happy so that they don't have the thought about maybe going to AEW. But Ty Dillinger, we haven't seen him on SmackDown Live since I don't even remember when. I think the last thing that he did on SmackDown Live was maybe a match with Nakamura for the United States Championship. Or if it wasn't that, he was getting an RKO from Randy Orton. Something along those lines. But I've always been one to say, if someone on the main roster is unhappy, why don't they do like some trade program with NXT? Or why don't those guys, like the Revival, they asked to go back down to NXT. They were declined. Ty Dillinger asked to go back down to NXT, and this is what happened. WWE isn't always what it's cracked up to be for everyone. That's exactly what Andrade Cien Almas was telling all of his friends thinking about coming into the WWE. Don't. It isn't what you expect it to be. Ty Dillinger was called up to the main roster before WWE seemed to have a plan for him, just like everybody else. Everybody that was called up just recently, Heavy Machinery, Lacey Evans, you got Lars Sullivan. They had a plan for him, and then he had anxiety. You got Heavy Machinery. You got Nikki Cross, EC3, right? All of them. There's no plan for any one of those guys. There's no plan for any one of those guys at all. Unless you are an absolute major name coming up from NXT, you're not going to get a plan for you. They're just going to pluck you. They're going to put you on the main roster, and they're just going to let you sit there. Do you want green beans or you want mashed potatoes? Titus is asking you. That's probably the most of your main roster stay until they want to find use for you. Now, Ty Dillinger was called up to the main roster before WWE seemed to have a plan for him. They just knew people loved yelling 10 at him during his entrance, and WWE tried to kill that because they found it to be annoying. Now, Dillinger recently came back from a hand injury. He returned to action in a losing effort at a random SmackDown house show to Shelton Benjamin, someone else who is still at, peak performance. He's in his 40s. He doesn't look it, but another guy that they're not using on the main roster. A guy that could obviously benefit from being elite. This obviously wasn't the best start on his way back. One fan suggested to Ty Dillinger that he should ask to go back down to NXT. Then this fan received a very interesting response from Mr. Ty Dillinger. And I quote, tried, end quote. Tried. He tried and asked to go back down to NXT. They gave him a -10 on that response. Now, it sounds like he wanted to go back down to NXT and seeing how he is currently being booked on the main roster. I do not blame him. That request was, of course, denied. He was certainly more over and getting better opportunities at Full Sail than he was under Mr. D-O-double-G. But, Mr. Ty Dillinger, I have a solution for your problems. It comes in the form of Cody Rhodes. Mr. Ty Dillinger, please let your contract expire and call up this beautiful blonde-haired man and ask if you could fly down to Jacksonville because you'd like to make All Elite Wrestling a perfect 10. Listen, man, All Elite Wrestling's not going to take WWE scraps, okay? They're not going to take literally everybody, but I'm being genuinely honest with you. I think Ty Dillinger has a lot of untapped potential. Now, obviously, he won't be able to use the perfect 10 gimmick. I mean, I don't know if he'll be able to do this or the hand gestures. WWE copyrights all of their likeness. But I honestly think Ty Dillinger is one of those guys that has so much potential. He's not bad in the ring whatsoever. I enjoyed his stay at Full Sail University. There was a point where Ty Dillinger was fucking over. There was a point where people wanted him to see, or people wanted to see him with the NXT Championship. That's how over he was. And then he came to the main roster. Everybody got excited. He came out at the Rumble at number 10. People were going crazy. It was in Texas, right? And everybody just went crazy. 50,000 people for Ty Dillinger. And then the next year he came out at number 10. And it's like, okay, WWE, we get the point. He's the perfect 10. He doesn't have to come out at number 10. What are the odds 2 years in a row that he handpicked number 10 in the Royal Rumble? Ridiculous. And then WWE seemingly buried him on the main roster. If I was Ty Dillinger, man, I'd let my contract run out, and I'd entertain the thought of going to All Elite Wrestling if they did indeed want me. Now, Ty Dillinger, man, he's doing, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's got a Twitch channel. He's a big gamer with Tyler Breeze. He's trying to get that up and running, and he's just trying to, just branch out and do other things because he knows WWE's not using him, man. It's a real sad state of affairs over there on the main roster for WWE. Speaking of the main roster, WWE is actually considering using another NXT superstar on the main roster on top of what they've already called up from NXT. Now, PW Insider is reporting that WWE is considering bringing up Candice LeRae to work live events. Johnny Wrestling's wife, Johnny Gargano, appeared at the Royal Rumble, and her ring attire was a huge nod to an injured co-worker. She also popped the Chase Field crowd pretty hard, and there was a nice little interaction with Candice LeRae and Zelina Vega. That was a take on the feud with Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas. Now, the nod to an injured co-worker, Tegan Nox. She had Tegan Nox colors on her tights, and the Tegan Nox story, you guys know if you've been watching the Mae Young Classic. She's going to be a huge star when she comes back. If she's back before this year's Mae Young Classic, she's number one in my books to win the entire thing, man. That's a great story right there. Predictable is not bad unless it's just something really, really shitty. In this case, it's something beautiful because that woman, if you watch the Mae Young Classic in 2018, man, we all legitimately got emotional when Tegan Nox got hurt. So it's really, really sweet that Candice LeRae paid homage to Tegan Nox, who's out right now. She's right now, if she's back, she's my number one to win the Mae Young Classic in 2019, and that would be a great story to tell. In fact, I would do Tegan Nox, and I would do, what's her name? I'm Rhea Ripley. I got a brain fart. Tegan Nox and Rhea Ripley in the finals of the Mae Young Classic for 2019, just to play off what happened in 2018. Well, anyway, WWE is discussing the idea of having LeRae on the main roster during live events for the SmackDown brand. Candice could be a great addition to SmackDown Live and bring some veteran knowledge as well. Apart from that, if Raw is losing Charlotte Flair in this whole Becky Lynch-Ronda Rousey situation heading into WrestleMania, and SmackDown could definitely use the extra help on the female side of things. This is said to be an internal discussion only at this point, and you never know what WWE might do and make as far as this decision goes, if it's going to be temporary or permanent. We don't know if it's going to be officially deemed a call-up at this time. I would not call Candice LeRae up at this time. I wouldn't even call her up for live events because I heard rumors that WWE is actually thinking, and I've been stating this for 2 years, so I don't want to hear anybody, making fun of me. I don't want to hear anybody, say that I'm lifting ideas from other podcasts. I've been stating this for 2.5 fucking years. I said it ever since the draft was over in 2016. The only draft that we got with this new era. I've been stating that the women's division should be merged, either on one brand or fucking floated across both. WWE right now, this week, there's talk about doing that, slowly integrating that with the tag team championships, and then after WrestleMania, there's going to be Raw and SmackDown joined together after WrestleMania, man. So if that is the case, I don't see a need for Candice LeRae to be on the main roster. Let her do her thing in NXT. I think she still has time down there where she needs to just get herself familiar with the live audience, and the WWE Universe needs to know who this is and understand who this is. When Johnny is ready to be called up, then you bring Candice up. I think that's a fair judgment call right there. That's just my opinion on that. There was a little confusion here with NXT Takeover WrestleMania weekend. There was something going around as far as a new name for Takeover, that WWE wasn't going to be calling it NXT Takeover Brooklyn because Brooklyn is synonymous with SummerSlam, and SummerSlam will not be taking place in Brooklyn this year. It's going to be taking place in Toronto. So instead of Brooklyn in August, we're going to get Takeover Toronto again. And I remember the last Toronto, it was DIY and the Revival in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Tag Team titles. One of the best tag team matches I have ever seen. And there was a rumor going around today that NXT TakeOver is not going to be called Brooklyn, but it's going to be called Blacklist. Now, this is a debunked rumor. The Blacklist has to do with the VIP list for TakeOver. And this is Brooklyn. It's going to be at the Barclays Center, but it's not going to be called Blacklist from what I understand. Now, there is a VIP opportunity for everybody, a VIP purchase, which is called the Blacklist, on some of the ticket sites. Now, it's a VIP suite. You're going to get VIP suite seating during NXT TakeOver New York or Brooklyn, whatever they're calling it, at the Barclays Center. Visits from NXT superstars during the show. A photo opportunity with NXT superstars. A group photo on entrance ramp. VIP access to merchandise stand before the doors open. NXT TakeOver collectible VIP poster. So people were jumping at the fact that, oh, look, they're changing the name of TakeOver to Blacklist, and it's not going to be called Brooklyn. I would rather it be called Brooklyn. It makes a lot more sense. Blacklist doesn't really make any sense. I don't understand why. What the fuck does that mean? What does that really mean? I have no idea. But that's what it is. Now, the rumor going around was that they were going to change the entire show to Blacklist. Obviously, this would have been different from the New York or Brooklyn rumors that were batted around. Either way, the event is going to be one of the best TakeOver shows of all time because WWE is going to put on something to at least combat, even though they're on separate nights, combat the Ring of Honor New Japan show at Madison Square Garden. So I wanted to debunk that rumor right then and there. It's not Blacklist until they officially say. And I just read to you what the Blacklist VIP offers are for tickets for this event. You're a Blacklist member if you purchase that ticket for TakeOver Brooklyn. So let's just go ahead and call it TakeOver Brooklyn number 5, WrestleMania weekend. That is all the news and rumors I got on NXT. I like throwing in some news and rumors for you guys. I figured I'd do it here instead of on off the script. It makes a lot more sense to do it here. But that is the news and rumors as far as NXT goes. NXT tonight at Full Sail. I was in the crowd. You immediately see me right in the beginning of the show. And this was probably the worst set of tapings for the 3 that I was there for. And day 1, part 1 rather, or week 1, was the setup for Velveteen Dream and Johnny Gargano. We actually had the debut of Eric Bugenhagen. You guys know about that. And we had that big 6-woman tag with Io, Kairi, and Bianca versus the Horsewomen. This one was a little bit more of a I guess in between, it's set up for what you guys are going to see next week. And I'll talk about that after we go through the results. But this was a pretty eventful show. What a great main event. But all in all, in my honest opinion, I honestly think it was the worst of the tapings this week. Dominic Dijakovic. I got to get used to pronouncing his name because I feel like we're going to be seeing this guy a lot more. Dominic Dijakovic versus Shane Thorne. And Shane Thorne was one half of TM61. And that is no more, obviously. So Dijakovic, I tell you what, man, when Vince looks at this guy, I know I said this before, when Vince looks at this guy and sees what this guy can do in the ring, it's going to be love at first sight. Love at first sight, man. Dijakovic, apparently, I think Morrow said it, he's 6'7". He's 6'7", athletic freak. The guy is powerful, and when he does a springboard corkscrew crossbody off the top rope onto the outside in one fluid motion, you know the guy is fucking talented. I'm sorry. That made the whole fucking match right there. This was Shane Thorne trying to get some offense in and work the arm, but you're not going to take down a guy like Dijakovic here, man. The springboard corkscrew crossbody to the outside, and then he nails him with the Feast Your Eyes, that modified GTS, which I do not like whatsoever. It's not impactful at all. I think he's got to tighten it up a bit or completely just change it and get rid of it and go with something new, man. I don't like it. We've seen Punk do it. We've seen Hideo with Tommy do it. I don't really want to see this guy do it. I need something for a guy this size, a little bit more impactful, in my honest opinion. Very, very self-explanatory here. Dominic Dijakovic wins via pinfall with the Feast Your Eyes modified GTS. Undisputed Era. They're backstage. They talk about hitting speed bumps. They lost their tag team championships and they're complaining, well, hasn't anybody ever heard of ups and downs? Hasn't anybody heard of speed bumps? But they're going to get back that gold. Bobby and Kyle look to take the tag team of the group again. They are going to be the tag team of the Undisputed Era. Bobby Fish is back from injury. He's 100%. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish were the tag team before Roddy came in and joined. I was loving Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly, man. They were fantastic together. But this does free up Roddy for singles gold. And he did mention this tonight. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are going to concentrate on getting those tag team championships back. Roddy is going to concentrate on getting the North American Championship. And you know Adam Cole, baby, is going to concentrate on getting the NXT Championship. And they said by the end of the year that all four of them will be dripping in NXT gold. Now, the only thing that they need to do is enlist a female and have that female hold the Women's Championship, and they would hold all the championships in the NXT universe. But it's funny that Roderick Strong mentioned that this now frees him up for a singles title in NXT. So next week, you guys are going to see Roderick Strong versus Aleister Black. There's a reason why he said that. I'm letting you guys know right now. They didn't really announce anything on the show tonight. Spoiler. I'm not going to tell you who won. I'm not going to tell you the results, but I'm telling you what you're going to see next week. And you're going to see Roddy in a great match with Aleister Black next week on NXT. There was a reason why he said, well, now this frees me up for singles gold. And there's no better opportunity than to go after the former NXT heavyweight champion. Last week they showed the Io Shirai ending with the moonsault on Shayna Baszler pinning the women's champion. So Io and Kairi were caught up for an interview. Shirai was asked about this win, and she showed that she can beat Baszler, and she's going to be the NXT Women's Champion. Kairi Sane was going to go on and say that same exact thing until Bianca Belair came up and said, listen, get in the back of the line. I had Shayna Baszler beat at TakeOver. I had Shayna Baszler beat last week until you stole the victory from me and tagged yourself in. Stay out of my way, get behind me, and she lets them both know that she's undefeated. Now, I don't know what that means. Clearly, she's not undefeated. She tapped out, or passed out, I guess, She passed out from Shayna Baszler, but she lost. I'm guessing she means that she has not been pinned. It's funny that they had her say that she's undefeated. I'm guessing that they're now taking that gimmick and they're applying it to, well, Bianca has not been pinned or formally tapped out in a match. So we'll see what happens. But she is saying get in the back of the line. It's her title. It's her title opportunity and not Io's or Kairi Sane. Humberto Carrillo. Really, really growing on me, man. Humberto's really fucking good. And Stacy Irvin Jr. This was my first time seeing this guy live. I'll talk about him in a second. Cassius Ohno comes out, shows up on stage, and he talks to the crowd. He's being quite sentimental for a little bit. And he was sitting in the back, and he saw the camera pan over Full Sail University. And he sees a lot of familiar faces and a lot of familiar people in the crowd. Ohno says each and every one of these fans at Full Sail absolutely makes him sick. He detests them. Ohno goes on, I am out of here. He's leaving NXT and plans to go somewhere where he will be allowed to show you why he is the very best to do this. I think at this moment live, you didn't see it on camera, I picked up my phone and I'm like, yo, bro, Cody! Give Cody a call, bro. There you go. Cassius Ohno ain't going nowhere. It was all a gimmick. And out comes Keith Lee. Bask in his glory. Well, Cassius Ohno certainly did that. He basked in a fucking elbow that knocked him out right on the stage. Keith Lee comes up from behind, hits him with a rolling elbow. He tells Ohno not to let the door hit him on the way out. And Lee apologizes for the interruption. He apologizes to Stacey Irvin. He apologizes to Mr. Humberto. And out comes the Street Profits. So it's the Street Profits versus Humberto Carrillo and Stacey Irvin Jr. Man, this was a fun match. This was a real fun match. It was a nice back and forth with Humberto and Montez Ford. Montez Ford is absolutely fucking money. I say it every fucking time, man. The guy's got charisma for days. Charisma for days, man. Charisma that you really can't teach anybody. He's got as much charisma in himself than all of SmackDown Live, to be honest with you. It's unbelievable. On Monday Night Raw, rather. There is some charisma on SmackDown Live. On Monday Night Raw. Let's throw Monday Night Raw under the bus because they fucking deserve it after last week's atrocity, or this week's atrocity, rather. But this was a fun match, man. Nice back and forth between Carrillo and Montez Ford. There was a situation in this match where Irvin tagged in. He does a drop kick, and he does a standing shooting star press into a cover, right? Dawkins up, and he breaks that up. There was a double team move on Irvin. Now, you didn't see it live. I seen it from where I was sitting, and the group of people that I was sitting with seen it, and we all gasped for breath. We took one huge... Stacey Irvin was dropped legitimately on the top of his fucking head with that back suplex from the Street Profits. You didn't see it, and it might not have looked bad with the angle that they shot. But I know for a fact, you heard Morrow tonight on the show. He even yelped, oh my God, it was fucking bad. And I know I would be shocked if Stacey Irvin Jr. at that point, he actually got up, he rolled away and flipped away and made a hot tag. I would be shocked if Stacey Irvin Jr. was not at least seeing fucking lights everywhere after being dropped on his head that way. How he rolled out of the way and made a fucking hot tag to Humberto was unbelievable. Carrillo tags in. Handspring elbow. Giant arm drag on Montez. Massive missile dropkick on Dawkins. Absolutely picture perfect missile dropkick. Standing moonsault. Cover. Only a 2 count. Irvin then tags back in. He goes for a huge high-risk spot. After the suplex spot, the guy got onto the top rope and had to at least leap 15 feet in the air with a almost picture-perfect moonsault. He kind of overshot it, but it was the height that he got in the air, flipping backwards. So he hits the moonsault. Dawkins pops Irvin for a super blockbuster after that. And the Street Profits win in a very, very fun tag team match on NXT. Post-match, Ford and Dawkins get on the microphone. They got a little bit of work to do on the microphone, bro. Montez is okay, but he was doing a lot of screaming. They got to tone it down a little bit. Tone it down be a little bit more focused. I don't know what Angelo Dawkins said when he had his opportunity with the microphone. It was just, yap, yap, yap. But for the most part, they said that they hear a lot of people looking at the gold in the tag team division, and they want some too. So they attempted to call out the War Raiders. When you're ready to go to war, we are here. Out comes Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner, man. I love this team. The European Union, man. Eichner is a fucking beast. This guy is fucking great. I love the makeup of this team, man. These guys are the NXT version of the Bar. Believe me. These guys are great. They came out. Bartel says no one deserves an opportunity at the Tag Team Champions more than them. Opportunities around here are sacred. He tells Dawkins and Ford to stand aside. Out comes Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Another team I really enjoy. They just start yelling at everybody in the wing. In the ring. My sinuses, man. My sinuses are killing me. War Raiders comes out, and Rowe is on the microphone. He says, I hear a lot of people talking about my titles, or our titles, but there's no fighting. Hanson says if they want the titles, make a move. The champs approach the ring, but Undisputed Era run out and attack Rowe and Hanson. They toss them in the ring, and everybody is brawling. So the Undisputed Era attack the War Raiders from behind. They throw the War Raiders to all these teams in the ring who want their gold, and the War Raiders end up clearing out everybody and stand tall with the NXT Tag Team Championships, man. The tag team division is really solid in NXT right now. War Raiders, Street Profits, Undisputed Era, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and then you got the European Union, man. Those are some solid fucking teams right there. I was at the NXT live show in Toms River, and the European Union, Bartel and Eichner, went against the War Raiders, man. Very, very fun match. So you know that they're setting up for some type of fatal four-way, possibly, between all four teams to get maybe a shot at WrestleMania for the Tag Team Championships. But it's going to be fun, man, with the Tag Team Championships in NXT. A lot of competition coming for those titles. Aliyah versus Tanara Konchi. This was very boring. I think at this point I got up and went to the bathroom. I did not care. I do not like either woman. Aliyah wins via submission here. Go figure. Aliyah is submitting the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist. Yeah, that really makes a lot of fucking sense. Post-match, Vanessa Bourne was there. Vanessa Bourne actually helped Aliyah win this match by interference. Bourne grabbed Conchi's foot, and Aliyah launches her off the top rope. Aliyah with a Kimura and multiple kicks to the back of the head for the submission victory. Bourne then heads into the ring, and it looks like we have some sort of partnership between Vanessa Bourne and Aliyah. Yeah, you got to make up for the Iconics missing in NXT. So there you go. Now you got your bougie version of the Iconics with Aliyah and Vanessa Bourne. Next thing you know, you're going to be seeing them shopping for fucking Gucci bags on Sunset Boulevard. But out comes Baszler, and she is steamrolling to the ring. Both women head for the hills. Out from behind on the stage are the horsewomen. They beat the shit out of both of them. And in the ring, Baszler destroys Konchi and says the champ is holding the title. And she says, this is a reality. This is a reality now. Don't get in my way and don't piss me off. And all three of them head to the back. So that was pretty much it. So the horsewomen are running wild on NXT. Do not get in their way, man. I love Shayna. I think she's great. I can't wait for her to assert her dominance on the main roster. I think it's going to be fun. Main event time, Adam Cole versus Ricochet. The winner of this is going to have stakes at the North American Championship. Now, their first match was a little bit more of a tit-for-tat. What you could do, I could do better. It was a very, very fast-paced match at Brooklyn, from what I remember. This one was a little bit more of a story-driven match. This one was a little bit more scientific in its delivery. Adam Cole, before this, and last week called Ricochet a one-trick pony. So what he did is exactly what anybody in Adam Cole's shoes would do. Take that one trick away. He attacked the left leg of Ricochet, and he took out the left leg of Ricochet. This is really where Ricochet shined, man. Ricochet, you got to give him credit. Not only is he a great seller, his facial expressions are great. The way he sells an injury in the ring. There were points in this match where Adam Cole was working on the leg, and he didn't put any weight on the leg. He didn't put any pressure on the leg. Everything that he wanted to do that he usually does with two legs, he did with one, hopping around on only his right leg, doing moves off the top rope with one leg. I think he did like a fucking flip off the springboard off the top rope with one leg. He did a senton with one leg. He jumped onto the top rope and springboarded with his right leg only because his left leg was injured. That's impressive. That is very impressive by Ricochet. Now, towards the end of this thing, he hits that diving uppercut. I love that diving uppercut off the top rope, man. A thing of beauty by Ricochet. That's his version of the, it's not his version. It's my interpretation of his version of the phenomenal forearm. AJ's got the phenomenal forearm. That's Ricochet's move right there, man. Kind of similar there, that diving uppercut. Hits a standing moonsault. Goes for cover, only a 2 count. Cole finally gets a kick that instantly drops Ricochet. Cole, with a big kick to the head, drops Ricochet down to a knee. Cover, only a 2 count. The crowd, they were chanting, both these guys, this is awesome. NXT, let's go Ricochet, Adam Cole. All the generic chants from an NXT Full Sail crowd. Ricochet goes for a Northern Lights. Now, he went for a Northern Lights because Adam Cole tried for another kick and misses, and Ricochet caught him with a Northern Lights suplex, tries to roll through, no luck, gets dropped because of the knee. He goes through that Northern Lights and floats through and then does that power lift suplex. He couldn't do it because of the knee. So Adam Cole took out that knee, went for a cover, only 2 count. Cole went for the last shot. Ricochet avoided it. Cole with another kick, tries for another last shot, even did the gun. And no, reverse Rana by Ricochet dropped Cole right on top of his head. It looked nasty. It looked nasty on TV, and it looked even nastier live. Ricochet then tries for a one-legged springboard 450 and has a empty landing. Only a cover of 2 there by Adam Cole after that miss. Some back and forth. Cole drops. Ricochet again misses another kick. A lot of misses here by Adam Cole. They trade kicks back and forth. Cole lands a low super kick. Goes for a cover, only a 2 count. Both end up on the turnbuckle. Now Ricochet slipped underneath Adam Cole. Goes back up and gets knocked down again. So they're now both jockeying for position on the top rope. Ricochet heads back up, hits a Frankensteiner. I love that Morrow used the word Frankensteiner. You don't hear that a lot often anymore, man. You always hear like Hurricane Rana or Head Scissors Takedown. A Frankensteiner. Homage to Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. Hits the Frankensteiner. Then he hits an axe kick that almost fucking beheaded Adam Cole. Northern Lights suplex. He rolls through with the power lift, deadlift suplex. And he hits Vertigo for 1, 2, 3. And he drives Adam Cole right into the mat with that Vertigo, man. Fucking deadly. All those strings and maneuvers, man. Morrow called it a fucking miracle win for Ricochet. And it was really, really a great match, man. Down the stretch, it was really great. Very scientific in the beginning. The match actually did not come off as good live as it did on TV, and I think Morrow is to thank for that. So, Mr. Ronaldo, thank you so very much for your brilliance on commentary. Ricochet wins via pinfall. He now has the stakes and the, bragging rights to the North American Championship that he beat Adam Cole. Adam Cole should concentrate on the NXT Championship. I think so, because I think Roddy's probably going to go after the North American. Post-match, Undisputed Era hit the ring immediately, and they attack Ricochet. Aleister Black comes out to try and help Ricochet, and he gets taken out, and Undisputed Era stands tall over both Aleister Black and Ricochet to end the NXT tapings, man. So that was tonight, and next week we're going to get another great match with Roderick Strong, and Aleister Black, and we're going to get that main event of Johnny Gargano and the Velveteen Dream for the North American Championship, man. It was a good show tonight. There was a lot that happened tonight, but in between what happened in the first show and the last show of the tapings, this one was probably the worst out of them all because there wasn't as much that happened here than the last show and the first show. So that's my take on that, being there live. And I'm very interested if they caught me on camera, cheering for Johnny. I was very vocal during the Johnny match. Some people were texting me saying that I wasn't really vocal. I looked like a corpse in the crowd. I hate generic chants, man. People like to call me a mark. I don't like generic chants. I'm not going to sit there and chant NXT, NXT like a fucking mark. You guys could do that. I'm just happy to fucking be there. Anyway, we'll see what happens next week. Thank you guys so very much for all of that. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up and let me know what you guys thought of tonight's show down in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206 on Twitter and on Instagram. The same deal. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Get your new shirt, man. JD's Elite. Now available on bonfire.com. Link down in the description below. And make sure you guys go and check out all the content that is currently available on the channel right now. Resident Evil walkthrough, man. Who let the bitches out? That was a fun one. Grimm's Toy Show, the disappearance of Grimm's Toy Show. We got an off-the-script extra special video on that. Raw, SmackDown, NXT tonight, and we got some OTS extra as well with Cody and the Young Bucks with All Elite Wrestling. They're scheduled for 2019 release. Congratulations on those guys for selling out Double or Nothing in 4 minutes today as well, man. So thank you guys so very much for everything. I will see you all tomorrow with more Resident Evil gameplay. Mr. X versus JD coming tomorrow, and Off the Script on Friday, man. Until then, take care. Hit that thumbs up. Have a good night. I'll see you guys right back here for more wrestling on Friday for Off the Script. I'll talk to you guys later.